The sky above New Ember was always quiet. It was a small human colony on the edge of known space. People here lived slow, simple lives. They farmed, they fished, they raised their children without fear. It had no army, no advanced weapons, and no protection from space. Other human colonies called it weak, even useless. Most people on Earth had forgotten New Ember even existed. Captain Lyra Voss had not forgotten. She walked slowly through the dusty streets, nodding at people who smiled and waved at her. She smiled back, but her eyes always watched the sky. Her body moved like a soldier, calm but alert. She had once fought in the Terran Defense Wars, but now she wore no uniform. She wore the same brown coat every day, and boots worn out from walking across dirt roads. That evening the sun was setting behind the hills, casting a golden light over the colony. Children played in the streets. Traders closed their shops. The wind carried the smell of baked bread and fresh fruit. It looked peaceful. But something deep inside Lyra's gut told her this peace was about to end. She looked up. A flash of light crossed the sky, quick and sharp. It wasn't a shooting star. It was too straight, too fast. She tapped her earpiece. "Control, report. Do we have anything on scanners?" a voice answered. "No known traffic, Captain, all clear." "Run a full sweep," she said, narrowing her eyes. Already doing it. She walked toward the edge of the colony, where the tall metal towers of the old scanner station stood. It was mostly abandoned now. The station only had one technician left, a young man named Felix who didn't believe anything bad ever happened on New Ember. He looked up as she walked in. "Evening, Captain, you see that light too?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, check the deep scan." Felix frowned. "You think it's something serious?" She said nothing. She just stared at the screen. Within moments, new data appeared. Felix's smile faded. I'm getting something. Multiple objects. 12 signatures, large, fast, coming straight for us. Show me." He turned the screen. Red dots moved across the edge of the map. "Time to arrival? 30 minutes. Maybe less." Lyra didn't panic. She didn't blink. She tapped her earpiece again. Locked down the colony. Silent alert. No sirens. Just prepare. Prepare for what? Felix asked, suddenly pale. "An attack." He swallowed. "We don't have any weapons." "We don't need them," she said. "Just do as I say." All around the colony, hidden alarms buzzed softly. People felt their comms vibrate in their pockets. They read a single message. "Stay indoors. Lock your doors. Do not panic." Lyra walked to the old command bunker buried beneath the ground. The door required 2 keys and a scan of her retina. She entered the cold, dark room. Dust covered the consoles. Lights flickered weakly. She placed her hand on the main panel. "Captain Lyra Voss," she said. "Activate Protocol Omega." The room came alive, lights turned green, machines began to hum. Somewhere deep underground, gears turned and metal arms moved. A voice filled the room. Calm, machine-like. Protocol Omega recognized. "Initiating defense sequence." Felix's voice came over the radio. "Captain, you're activating Omega? That's just a myth, right? It's never been tested." "It was built for this exact moment," she said. "Those things up there, are they really aliens?" "Yes," she said quietly. "And they're not here to talk." Outside, a farmer named Juno stood by her window. She saw something in the sky, bright lights growing larger. She called her son inside. "What is it, Mama?" She didn't answer. She just closed the door and locked it. In space, the alien ships moved in formation. Long, dark, and covered in armor, they looked like flying knives. Their language was unknown to humans, but their actions spoke clearly. Their leader, Commander Yilka, stood on the bridge of the largest ship. His face was cold. His eyes held no mercy. "Scanners show no military presence," one of his officers said. "This colony is undefended." "Begin the landing," Yilka said. "Leave no survivors." 12 ships dropped through the clouds. No warning, no message, just fire and thunder. Lyra watched from the command bunker. Her hand hovered over a second button. "Status of drone cores?" she asked. The AI replied, 70% active, full readiness in 4 minutes. "All civilians indoors? 94% compliance." "That's good enough," she said. "Initiate Phase 1. Beneath the colony, heavy doors opened. Robotic drones rose from hidden platforms. Their eyes glowed red. They moved without sound, fast, precise, deadly. One drone climbed to a rooftop. Another rolled under a vehicle. A third crawled into the shadows behind a barn. Yilka's troops landed near the colony edge. They wore black armor and carried plasma rifles. They laughed as they marched forward. "This is too easy," one of them said. "They didn't even run." A child watched them through a window. The alien saw her and smiled cruelly. Then, without warning, the drone on the rooftop activated. It fired a single pulse beam. One alien's head exploded. The others turned, shouting. But it was too late. Drones burst from the ground. Lasers cut through metal. Mines exploded beneath their feet. Hidden turrets popped from the soil and opened fire. The peaceful colony turned into a storm of light and fire. The aliens fought back, but they couldn't see where the attacks came from. Every time they turned, another drone was waiting. The AI controlled everything, moving faster than any human brain. Yilka screamed over the radio, "Deploy heavy units!" But even the heavy units couldn't stand for long. The AI used their own energy signatures to track them. One by one, they fell. Felix watched the battle from the scanner station. His mouth hung open. I don't believe it," he whispered. "They're being wiped out." Lyra didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. "They thought we were weak," she said. They were wrong. More alien ships tried to land. The AI launched an orbital cannon hidden under the hills. A blue beam shot upward, striking one ship mid-air. It exploded. In a cloud of fire, another ship turned to flee. A swarm of aerial drones chased it and drilled through its hull. It crashed in the desert far beyond the colony. Yilka tried to escape. He ran toward his shuttle. But as he reached it, a small flying drone appeared in front of him. It scanned his face. "Threat identified," it said. A flash of light ended his story. In the command bunker, the AI spoke. "Timer complete. Total alien force eliminated. Mission duration, 7 minutes, 2 seconds. Lyra took a slow breath. "Send the message," she said. "To who?" "To everyone." The message left New Ember. It passed through human relays, bounced across colonies, and entered alien space. It contained a short video clip, alien troops landing, fighting, and dying in seconds. At the end, a line of text appeared. "Earth's weakest colony, Prime was never weak." The galaxy held its breath. In distant star systems, alien leaders watched the footage in silence. They had laughed at humans before. They wouldn't laugh again. In New Ember, the people stepped outside. The air was quiet once more, the ground still smoked, but the colony stood. A boy looked up at his mother and asked, "Are the monsters gone?" She nodded. "Yes. They're gone." Captain Lyra Voss stood alone at the edge of the colony. She looked at the stars again. This time, she smiled. "They won't come back," she whispered, but deep inside she knew this was just the beginning. The AI's voice came through her earpiece once more. "Would you like to begin Phase 2? She didn't answer right away. She looked out at the peaceful hills, the homes, the people she swore to protect. Then she said quietly, "Not yet. Let them wonder what else we're hiding." And she walked away, leaving behind a silent colony, with deadly secrets buried just beneath the soil. The sky above New Ember was calm again, but the colony was far from safe. After the attack, whispers spread like fire through the streets. People spoke in low voices, afraid the aliens might return. They remembered the sudden flash, the strange lights, and the power that saved them. But no one knew exactly what had happened underground. Captain Lyra Voss stood in the command bunker, the air thick with tension. The machines hummed quietly now, But she knew the danger was only growing. The colony was small and weak by design, but what lay beneath was something else entirely, something powerful, something nobody outside this place understood. "Why did we win so fast?" Felix asked as he entered the bunker, eyes wide with curiosity and fear. Lyra didn't smile. "Because we were prepared for what they could not. See?" She walked over to a large table covered with maps and strange symbols. "This colony isn't just a home. It's a test. A hidden project Earth created years ago. They called it Protocol Omega." Felix looked confused. "A test? What kind of test?" Lyra paused. "A test of human survival and technology. We hid powerful defense machines deep underground, in secret tunnels and bunkers. They can react faster than any human or ship. When the aliens attacked, we activated them." Felix's eyes grew even wider. "So those machines, they fought for us?" "Yes," Lyra said softly. "But it's more than just machines. The system learns and adapts. It controls every drone, turret, and weapon buried beneath this colony. The AI decides the best way to protect us." Outside, the sun set slowly, painting the sky orange and pink. The peaceful colors clashed with the heavy weight of what Lyra was saying. "We didn't just defend ourselves," she added. "We sent a warning to the galaxy." Felix looked down at the floor. "A warning?" Lyra nodded. "That message said one thing. We are not weak." It reached every corner of human space and beyond. The aliens know now that even our smallest colonies are prepared. Silence filled the room. Then Felix spoke again, his voice trembling. "What happens next?" Lyra's face hardened. "They will come back, stronger and in greater numbers. This was just the first wave." A soft beep came from one of the consoles. The AI's voice echoed through the room. "Incoming message, unknown origin." Lyra and Felix exchanged glances. They listened as the message played. A deep, calm voice spoke in a language they did not understand. The tone was serious but not angry. It said something that made the hairs on Lyra's arms stand up. The message ended with a warning. "The galaxy watches. This is only the beginning." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "They are planning a response. We must be ready." She turned toward the heavy metal door. "Tell the colony leaders to prepare for a longer fight. Tell them to keep hope alive, but to expect challenges ahead." Felix nodded. "And the Protocol Omega machines? Can they hold again?" "They will try," Lyra said. "But we need more time, more resources, and more allies." Outside, the quiet fields of New Ember hid secrets. The machines below waited, silently, ready to wake again at a moment's notice. But Lyra knew that even powerful machines could not protect people forever. The colony's survival depended on courage, trust, and a plan no one yet fully understood. She looked up at the stars. "We won this battle," she whispered, "but the war is just beginning." The calm that had settled over New Ember did not last long. As the sun rose on the third day after the first attack, an uneasy feeling gripped the people. They could see strange ships far beyond the colony's horizon, small but numerous, moving like shadows against the bright sky. Captain Lyra Voss stood on the hill overlooking the fields, her gaze steady and unblinking. She knew the aliens had not given up. The warning message had stirred the galaxy, and now new ships were coming. This time, they would bring more than curiosity. They would bring a test of will and wit. Inside the command bunker, the AI's soft voice echoed again. "Warning, multiple unidentified vessels detected. Range, 70 kilometers and closing." Lyra's hands tightened into fists. "Prepare the drones. Activate all defense systems to stand by." This time, no surprises. Felix rushed in, holding a data pad. "Captain, the AI has been learning from the first attack. It is adapting strategies, improving response times. It says it will be ready." "Good," Lyra replied. "But the enemy will try different tactics now. We can't rely on machines alone. The colonists gathered in small groups, discussing what to do. Some were scared, others were hopeful, but all looked to Lyra for guidance. That night, as the colony slept, a soft hum grew beneath the ground. The AI's network of drones and turrets came alive again. They were silent hunters, unseen protectors ready to defend their home. Suddenly, sensors detected movement in the sky. A new fleet of ships arrived, their shapes strange and unfamiliar. These were not like the first 12. They were smaller, but faster, designed for speed and agility. Lyra's heart pounded as she watched the radar screen. "They are scouting," she said, "looking for weakness." The AI analyzed their movement patterns. "They are probing the perimeter. No direct attack yet." Felix frowned. "Are they trying to find a way inside?" "Yes," Lyra said, "and we must not let them." The night passed with tense quiet. The colonists waited, eyes on the skies and ears tuned to every sound. At dawn, the sun cast long shadows over the land. Then came the first signs. A scout ship appeared close to the colony's edge. It hovered briefly before dropping a small device onto the ground. The device emitted strange signals, confusing the AI's sensors. "Interference detected," the AI warned. "Communications may be compromised." Lyra gritted her teeth. "We must isolate and remove it." A small team of colonists, led by Felix, went out carefully. They tracked the device to a rocky hill. Felix knelt down and studied it. "It's sending a signal," he said. "I think it's trying to map our defenses." Lyra's voice came over the comm. "Destroy it quietly. We can't let them know we noticed." Felix pulled a small tool from his pack and disabled the device. Done. Back at the command bunker, the AI adjusted its sensors, working around the interference. Mapping attempts failed. For the next days, the aliens continued to send scouts. They tested different spots, searching for weak points. The drones and turrets responded quickly, keeping the colony safe without alerting the enemy to their full strength. Lyra knew this was a battle of patience and intelligence. The colony's survival depended on careful moves and silent defense. Meanwhile, she began organizing the colonists. She trained volunteers in simple defense techniques, teaching them to work alongside the machines. "You are the heart of this colony," she told them. "The machines are the arms. Together, we will protect our home." Felix helped build communication networks within the colony. They made sure every home could send messages quickly and quietly. This way, if danger approached, no one would be caught off guard. As the days passed, the alien scouts grew more daring. One tried to send a small drone inside the colony, but the AI spotted it instantly and trapped it in an electric net. The captured drone revealed new technology the colonists had never seen before. Lyra studied the drone carefully. "They are learning too," she said. "We must stay one step ahead." Then, one evening, the sky changed color. Strange lights danced over the hills, an alien signal, powerful and clear. The AI intercepted the message and translated it. The words were simple but chilling. "Surrender now or face the consequences." Lyra stared at the screen, her jaw set. "We will never surrender. This is our home." She gathered the colony leaders and spoke with calm determination. "The next wave will come soon. They want to break our will. But they will find we are stronger than they imagined." The colony prepared. They strengthened hidden defenses and upgraded drone systems. Lyra and Felix worked side by side, planning and training, always watching the skies. The night grew dark and heavy. The stars blinked above like distant eyes watching their every move. Then, from the silence, the distant hum of engines began. A new test had begun. But New Ember was ready. The morning air on New Ember was cool and still, but beneath that calm tension grew heavier with each passing hour. Captain Lyra Voss stood outside her small home, watching the horizon where the faint shapes of alien ships hovered like dark clouds. The colony had prepared for this moment, but no one could say how it would end. Inside the command bunker, the AI's soft hum filled the room. Incoming fleet detected. Estimated arrival in 2 hours. Lyra's breath tightened. 2 hours, she repeated slowly, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on her shoulders. She turned to Felix, who was busy analyzing data streams pouring in from scanners. What do we know about them? Felix shook his head. This fleet is unlike anything we've seen. Larger, more coordinated. Their patterns show advanced tactics but also hesitation. They're testing us again. Lyra nodded. Then we must make sure we are ready for everything. Throughout the colony, people moved with quiet purpose. Farmers turned into lookouts, traders became messengers, and every able person took part in strengthening defenses. Hidden turrets were upgraded, drone batteries recharged, and new sensors placed where the land was most vulnerable. Lyra walked through the streets, greeting familiar faces. She saw fear in their eyes, but also a fierce determination. These people were not just survivors, they were fighters in their own way. Back in the command center, the AI interrupted. New data incoming, possible communication from an unknown. Source. The screen flickered and a strange symbol appeared. It was unlike any language Lyra had seen before. Felix frowned. This looks like a challenge, a test of understanding. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Or a warning. Suddenly the comms crackled. A voice spoke, not harsh, but calm and clear. Weow. Do not wish harm if peace is possible, the voice said. Your strength is known. We offer a chance to avoid further conflict. Lyra studied the message carefully. A chance for peace? She whispered. Felix responded. This could be a trick, or an opportunity. Lyra made a quick decision. Reply that we seek peace, but will defend our home. Minutes passed. The reply sent. The colony waited. Then the voice returned, softer this time. Meet at the neutral zone. We will send a small team. Trust is fragile but possible. Lyra exhaled slowly. This is it. We must be careful. The neutral zone was a barren field halfway between New Ember and the alien landing site. Lyra prepared a small group, herself, Felix, and 2 trusted colonists. As they traveled, Lyra's mind raced. Could the aliens really want peace? Or was this a trap to learn more about the colony's secrets? They arrived to find a small craft waiting. From it stepped 3 figures dressed in smooth suits that shimmered under the sun. They looked different from the soldiers before, calm, respectful. The leader stepped forward. I am Saren. We come with hope. Lyra nodded. I am Captain Lyra Voss. We will listen. The talks were slow, cautious. Each side shared their fears, their reasons. Saren explained their people's desire for order and control, afraid of chaos in the galaxy. Lyra spoke of humanity's will to survive and protect their homes. For hours, the 2 groups searched for common ground. Meanwhile, back at the colony, Felix monitored the scanners. Suddenly, his eyes widened. Captain, multiple ships detected moving away from the neutral zone. They're not part of the talks. Lyra's heart raced. Saboteurs? Felix nodded grimly. They could attack the colony while we're distracted. She made a quick call to the AI. Raise all defenses immediately. Prepare for possible surprise. Back at the neutral zone, Saren's face showed concern. We do not control all our forces. Some factions seek conflict. Lyra replied. Then we must act quickly to prevent them. The meeting ended with a fragile agreement. Both sides promised to halt attacks and work toward peace. But Lyra knew the road ahead would be difficult. On the way back, the group remained silent, the weight of their choices heavy on their shoulders. When they returned, the colony was quiet. Too quiet. Lyra and Felix rushed to the command center. The AI reported that the saboteur ships had changed course, moving deeper into the uninhabited lands. They're testing our patience, Lyra said softly, but we will not give in. That night, the stars shone brightly above New Ember, but below the colony stayed alert. Trust had been offered, But the true battle for survival was far from over. The days after the meeting felt like walking on thin ice. The colony of New Ember moved cautiously, unsure if the fragile peace would hold. Captain Lyra Voss could feel the weight of every choice pressing down on her. Each morning, she scanned the sky and listened to the quiet hum of the machines below, knowing that danger could return at any moment. Felix stood beside her in the command center watching the data streams. "Captain, our sensors have detected new activity at the edges of the colony," he said. "It's not an attack, but it's unusual." Lyra frowned. "What kind of activity?" "Small groups moving through the forests far from the main paths. They're using stealth techniques." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Scouts? Or something else?" Felix shook his head. "We can't be sure. But they're careful not to trigger our sensors." The colony's people were on edge. Farmers carried tools that could be used as weapons if needed. Children stayed close to their parents. The once peaceful fields now felt like a place where shadows watched from every corner. Lyra gathered her team. "We must find out who these groups are and what they want. Stay alert but avoid confrontation if possible." Felix nodded. "I'll organize search teams." For the next several days, small groups of colonists, trained by Felix and Lyra, moved quietly through the forests. They searched for signs, tracks, strange devices, or clues to the visitors' intentions. One evening, a scout returned with news. "Captain, we found a small camp. It's empty now, but there are symbols on the trees. They're not alien, but they're not ours either." Lyra examined the photos sent by the scout. The symbols were strange, curved shapes that glowed faintly in the dark. What could this mean? She wondered aloud. Felix studied the symbols on his tablet. It could be a message or a warning, some kind of communication. The mystery deepened. Who were these visitors? Why had they come so close without revealing themselves? Meanwhile, tensions inside the colony grew. Some colonists wanted to prepare for war, believing the peace talks were a trick. Others held on to hope, trusting Lyra's judgment. Lyra walked among her people, calming fears and offering reassurance. "We will protect this home together," she told them. "But we must also open our minds to new possibilities." One night, as the stars glittered overhead, the AI detected a new signal. This one different from the aliens or any known source. It was faint but unmistakable. Lyra and Felix worked to decode it. Slowly, the message became clear. "We are watchers," the message said. "We have observed your courage and your choice for peace. We offer guidance, but only if you are ready." Lyra stared at the screen in disbelief. "Who are these watchers?" Felix replied, "Something new, something older, and wiser, perhaps." The colony buzzed with excitement and uncertainty. What guidance could these watchers offer? Would they help the colony survive the challenges ahead? Lyra made a decision. "We will respond. We will meet these watchers and learn what they want." Preparations began to build a signal strong enough to reach the watchers' hidden location. The colonists worked day and night, balancing hope and fear. As the signal sent out, the sky above New Ember shimmered with colors never seen before. Lights danced like gentle waves across the stars. Then, from the darkness, a new ship appeared. It was unlike any alien craft, smooth, glowing softly, peaceful in appearance. A voice came through the comms, calm and kind. "We are the Watchers. We come not to harm but to guide. The path ahead is difficult, but you are not alone." Lyra stepped forward, her heart pounding. "We are ready to listen." The Watchers shared knowledge of ancient technologies and strategies to protect the colony and its people. They spoke of balance, unity, and strength that comes from understanding. For the first time, New Ember felt a true spark of hope, a chance to not only survive but to grow stronger. But even as the Watchers' light filled the colony, shadows still lurked. Unknown threats moved quietly, watching and waiting. Lyra knew that every step forward would need courage, wisdom, and trust. The journey was far from over, but New Ember was no longer alone. The air in New Ember had changed. Not just the weather or the quiet breeze, but something deeper. Something felt in the way people walked, in the way they looked at the sky. After the appearance of the Watchers, a new kind of energy flowed through the colony. It wasn't fear or pride. It was a quiet, rising belief that they were part of something greater. Captain Lyra Voss sat inside the main council chamber, where sunlight filtered through tall windows. The table in front of her displayed a large projection. It showed not only New Ember but the surrounding lands and skies now filled with new signals, faint echoes, and quiet pulses of unknown origins. Felix entered the room with a report. "More signs from the Watchers," he said. "They're pointing us toward something underground, something very old." Lyra studied the projection closely. "Coordinates?" He nodded. "About 12 miles northeast, just past the old rock field." Lyra stood, already preparing her mind for what this could mean. "Get a team ready. We'll leave by sunrise." Next morning, the sun rose softly over the hills as Lyra, Felix, and a few trusted explorers traveled toward the marked location. The land was quiet, untouched. Birds chirped from tall trees and the grass moved gently with the wind. But under that peaceful scene, something ancient waited. By noon, they reached the place. From the surface, it looked like nothing more than a wide stretch of stone, but the Watcher's signal pulsed stronger here. Felix scanned the ground and found it, an entrance hidden beneath vines and old soil. With care, the team cleared the area. A wide platform appeared, covered in the same glowing symbols the Watchers had shown earlier. When Lyra stepped onto it, the symbols lit up and a low hum filled the air. Then slowly the platform began to lower, revealing a chamber beneath the earth. They descended quietly, breath held in awe. The walls of the chamber were smooth, marked with soft lights that responded to their presence. It felt less like a machine and more like something alive, something that had been sleeping, waiting. At the center stood a crystal pillar, humming, softly. As they approached, the Watcher's voice returned, filling the chamber. "You have passed every test, not of strength but of heart. This place is yours now, a seed of knowledge from long ago. Use it well." Lyra reached out and touched the pillar. Instantly, images flashed in her mind. Not just of Earth or New Ember, but distant stars, forgotten stories, and futures not yet written. The colony was no longer just a place to survive. It was part of a much larger story. Back at New Ember, the people waited anxiously. When Lyra and the team returned, they brought with them something more than just news. They brought vision, direction, and the beginning of a new path. Using the technology from the underground chamber, the colony began to change. Fields became more productive. Power systems grew cleaner and more efficient. Communication reached deeper into space, attracting new visitors, not with threats but with curiosity and respect. Aliens that once arrived as strangers now came to learn and share. Small delegations visited, not with fear, but with open minds. New Ember became a meeting point, a peaceful home among the stars. Felix designed a learning center using the Watcher's guidance. Children and adults studied together, alien languages, star maps, ancient history. The colony wasn't only healing from the past, it was reaching toward a brighter, wiser future. One evening, as the stars blinked gently above, Lyra stood by the observation deck. She looked out over the colony she had once feared would fall. Now it glowed. Homes were lit gently. People laughed softly in the streets. Drones flew silently overhead, keeping watch not as guards, but as protectors. Felix joined her. "Do you think they'll ever come back, the ones who tested us?" Lyra smiled. "Maybe, or maybe they already learned what they needed to know." Felix nodded thoughtfully. "And us? What do we do now?" Lyra looked up at the stars. "Continue," she said. "We explore, we build, we connect, we remember who we were, and who we can become." In the sky above, one last pulse flickered, bright, gentle, and full of promise. The Watchers were watching still, but they no longer guided. They had given the gift. The rest was up to humanity. And for the first time in a long time, humanity was truly ready.